Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Beautiful people, beautiful people. Come on in. Have a seat. As y'all can see, I'm in my beach house in Turks and Caicos. So I won't be long because I got to get out to those blue coral waters that you see over my shoulder. No, but for real, I just want to come on real quick, talk to you guys. I always got a policy that I never wait for people to come in on the live because we all know that can y'all still see me? Cause I'm trying to figure out why is my Miss Duncan, tell me something. Can you still see me? Cause I'm trying to see why my screen is doing the way that it's doing. I think I'm having some technical difficulties, you guys. You can? Oh wow. Well, guess what? I can't see me, so I guess I'll do this in the dark. For some reason, my broadcast is blanked out. But if you can see me, I'm gonna keep rolling, and we'll figure it out later. All right, all right, Miss Duncan, appreciate it. Well, guess what, you guys? I'm gonna show you how cold I am. I'm finna do this in the dark because clearly I can't see myself. Let me unplug this and plug if that helps. See if that refreshes my screen. So anyway, that's how cold I am. I'm finna do this in the dark. It don't even matter. So basically, I can't even see myself. So I want y'all to take a look at my shirt. Husband, daddy, protector, hero. I don't know where I got this shirt from, but I love it. A lot of you black men, we need to figure it out and make it happen. Y'all need to be something. Y'all need to be a great husband. Y'all need to be a great father. Y'all need to be a protector. Y'all need to be somebody's hero. All right. So without further ado, we want to get to what we're gonna talk about today. I've been giving y'all free game for about a whole year now. And about 50% of y'all did something, and 50% of y'all ain't done nothing. And I'm trying to figure out why 50% of y'all done did something and 50% of y'all have done nothing. So I'm gonna give some free game today. And hopefully, we can interact too. So y'all don't mind. I got my comment section rocking. So we can always interact. If y'all got questions, concerns, that y'all want to ask me a question or whatever, I'll try to figure it out and see if I can answer while I'm trying to talk and direct myself at the same time. But before I get started, let me go to my sponsors. That's right, you guys. I got sponsors. I got commercials. I watch this. I did it myself. I kill me like this. I just love black people. I love black businesses. So I created my own sponsors. I'm so excited about this. So let's go to the sponsors, you guys. Q. Go to the sponsors. All right. Let me see here. Watch that. Share screen. There we go. Hold on. You gotta give me a moment now. I'm my own production crew. All right. All right. So for our first sponsor today, ladies and gentlemen, Genesis Apparel, the apparel for the modern man. They focus on dedicating to the traditional art of custom made tailoring. Listen, fellas, the baggy jeans, the big clothes, the whatever hanging halfway off it. After you get age 25, y'all need to let it go. It's all about the modern man, and because this is what the ladies want to really see. They want to see somebody elevating themselves and elevating their family. So the best way that you can do that, you see the website, go to Genesis Apparel, genesisapparel.com for all your modern man needs. Thought that was pretty good, you guys. All right, here's my second one. All right, Reform Beauty Supplies. Look at all the skincare and hair care products that these guys sell. Online shipping, instant shipping. And I know you're going to say, hey, they don't have the product I like. Yes, they do. They got all the brands, all the products, all the hair care needs, all the hair, all the lashes, all the wigs, all the beard stuff for men. They got it all. Here at Reform Beauty Supply, they say, hey, reform beauty, reform yourself. So there you go. Reform beauty, reform you. Here's the website. Click on it and go to it. Now back to our regularly scheduled program, you guys. Hey, y'all like that? Y'all like that, did y'all? Hey, look, y'all know I love me some black entrepreneurs, and y'all know I love people who are stepping outside the norm and doing it for themselves. So if y'all know anybody that, like I said, that wants to be a sponsor, not really. I mean, it's not like I get paid anything, but y'all can hit me up in my DM, and I'll most definitely give them a plug, give them a shout out anytime I go live. It's only 1, 2, 3, maybe 100. You don't know how many people be watching, and everybody always can replay. And that's why I always tell you guys, share the information. You can share all this garbage every single day. Y'all share some of the funniest, some of the most retarded, some of the most nastiest, freakiest posts I've ever seen in my life. But when it comes to sharing information about other people and their products and their businesses, for whatever reason, you feel like I can't do it. It hurts me to share it. All right, without further ado. So I said I wasn't gonna hold you guys on, so I'm not. Once again, I'm doing this in the dark. I can't see myself. Excuse me, but we'll figure it out. So we were talking about how I've been doing this for over a year, and for whatever reason, I still get the same excuses. And it seems like y'all just got unlimited excuses. And I'm trying to figure out, when is it gonna stop? I've been giving free game for a long time. I tell people always to hit me up if you got any questions, and people still act like they struggle. People still act like they don't want to do anything. And then, like if I post something and then I say, with credit repair, I might post something saying that I help people, get their credit fixed. I understand when people, say try to count their pockets and act like they don't got the money. But then anytime I put up a post and it says free this or free that, oh, they like, hit me up, inbox me, blah, blah, blah. They want to see it. And I'm just like, really? Are you going to apply the information that I give you? Because I've been dropping free dimes for like I don't know how long. And so I'm gonna drop a couple of them today anyway. Let me go ahead and make sure I put some of my my post up, some of my comments up. Who is this? Miss Duncan. Oh, Miss Duncan, I know it's a beautiful view. Listen, I'm in Turks and Caicos right now. All right. So anyway, without further ado, let's talk about your credit. What does it take? I'm here to tell you guys, it takes nothing to build good personal credit. I built my credit myself. I felt like I was an expert. I got into real estate. I saw a lot of people couldn't qualify for homes. So guess what? I real quickly decided I wanted to try to help people qualify for homes. And so I got into credit repair. And let me tell you, I thought it was going to be easy because I thought everybody wanted to better themselves. But come to find out, everybody don't want to better themselves. It sounds good. It sounds like you want to better yourselves, but y'all got unlimited excuses for whatever reason. I can't figure it out why y'all got unlimited excuses. So I'm going to show you the breakdown of the credit repair, of the credit FICO credit model. All right. Hold on real quick. I'm going to go back here. Share my screen again. Once again, you guys, y'all got to, give me a second. I'm my own production team here. All right. So, as you can see, this is the FICO score breakdown. A lot of people always get on. They say, "Well, my Credit Karma score says one thing, but I don't really think that's the true accurate score." Well, the point is, the Credit Karma uses a Vantage score system. The Vantage score system was created by the banks. The banks created that. The banking institutions, they created the Vantage score system. The FICO scoring system was, created by, I think, Sir Isaac somebody or whatever. I can't remember. But anyway, the point of that is, the only people that really use your Vantage scores are banks when it comes to giving you credit cards. That's it. So if you're trying to buy a house, if you're trying to buy a car, if you're trying to buy whatever, if you're trying to get a loan, they're using the FICO score. So most people say, well, I don't have anything that'll show me my score other than Credit Karma. Yes, you do. Experian.com has been showing free credit scores since the pandemic. Now, of course, they only show you Experian score. And we know between all three scores, your three scores from the three bureaus are going to be different. Typically, they're not all the same. But if you're going to get at least a free FICO score, then I would go to Experian.com. And then that way you can at least know where you stand in the FICO realm. It'll put you in a good sense of, mind when you know that, well, my FICO score says this, well, even though it's my Experian score. Because 9 times out of 10, your other two scores are not going to be that far off. Now, typically, if they are, that means you may have a collection that's showing up on your TransUnion that's not showing up on your Experian. But you still will be able to check that because you can still use your Credit Karma as a gauge or a guide. This is how your percentages are broken down. So this right here is going to be the free game, free tips. Pay attention. Because you claim you want it, right? You claim y'all want it free, right? So this is how you do it yourself. I'm going to teach you how to do your credit yourself. So peep this out. Payment history. Y'all see that big old chunk down there? Payment history. That's 35%. That's about 192 points. 192.5, I believe. I may be off. I think it's a 192.5. So out of that beautiful credit score, you don't start with a 0. You start with a 300. Just so you didn't know. You start with a 300. And you go all the way up to what, you guys? I know somebody knows. 850. Exactly. So in between that 300 and 850, that's when you got to figure out, how can I figure out the accumulation of all those points? Well, I'm here to tell you, the 30% that you see at the top for the amounts owed, which is your utilization, that's 165 points. The payment history that you see 35% at the bottom, which is the big chunk, that's 192.5. I'm trying to remember this on the fly. The 10% new credit history and the 10% credit mix, they're both 55. And the 15% length of credit history, that is 80-something.5. That's where that other 0.5 comes in at. Because I was like, how you get a 0.5 and then you're going to get a 0.5? Well, that's the other 0.5. So I think it's 80-something.5, 82, whatever. I can't remember. I don't feel like pulling out my calculator to add up everything I just said either. So with that being said, you see how you can really impact your score by actually knowing how the score and what encompasses of the score and the actual points that goes into it. So amounts owed. So that's pretty much your credit utilization. That is just sit here saying if you got a card worth $1,000 and if you only got one credit card, it's worth $1,000. You got a $1,000 limit and you go over $300, then you're over your 30% utilization. Now, here's the key. With that one card and that one utilization, you have what we call a thin credit file. So for all of my people out there that have a thin credit file, that means you only have one or two. Basically, you have less than 3 credit cards in less than 2, or pretty much less than 3 credit cards in less than 3 installment loans. So if you ask me what is an installment loan, that's your car note. What's an installment loan? That's your personal loan. Any kind of loan that has a set amount that you pay every month, and then it's got to be paid off at the end of said amount of months or days or whatever, years, that's an installment loan. So your house note, that's an installment loan because you got 30 years to pay that, right? Car note, you got 5 years. Personal loans, you got 2 to 3 years. So those are installment loans. So you can create yourself. The people that got an 850 credit score or between the 825s and 850s, that's because they have a large credit mix. And you hear what I said when I said credit mix, right? So then look down there and you see that 10%. You get 55 points for having a large credit mix, but you also are not being deemed to have a thin credit file. So if I got 3 or more credit cards, that's key. Whether you use them or not, I mean, you do have to use them in the beginning, but like I said, whether you use them or not, if you have 3 or more credit cards, if you have 2 or more installment loans. So if you basically think about it is if you have 2 cars, if we were a 2-car family and you got your name on 2 cars, then you got 2 installment loans. If you got a name on the car in the house, that's 2 installment loans. If you got a personal loan plus a car note, that's 2 installment loans. So if you have pretty much about 2 installment loans, about 3 or more credit cards, that's an awesome credit mix. If you haven't missed any payments on none of those, then your payment history, you're going to get all of the 195. I mean, all of the 192.5. So if you have a credit file where you miss some payments, then of course you're not going to get the 192. So imagine if you missed a couple of payments because of whatever, COVID, blame, whatever issue. Now you're looking at, let's say you're getting 100 of those points down there from that 35. You're getting out of the 165, let's say you have a thin credit file and you only have 2 credit cards. So you're probably only getting, or let's just say you're over your utilization. So you're probably only getting 100 points there. That's another 200. Let's say you don't have a good credit mix, so you get half of that. That's 25. So that's 225. And then, length of credit history. So if it's below 3 years, it's not considered like a good credit history. Every year you go up past 3 years, they give you points based on that. So imagine if you're getting like 40 points there. And then new credit, not applying for any new credit. That's very key. But if they know that you are looking for new installment loans, sometimes they don't penalize you for that. But if you got like 80,000 credit card applications out there, then that hurts you. So I don't want to lose anybody, because I get to talking real fast. So to kind of recap that, if you put those points together, 100, 125, 20 something, what's that, 100, 225, let's say about 250, then you're looking at about 250 points added to your 300. And then now you're looking at what, about a 550, 575. So a lot of people assume that because you got a 500, or you assume that you got a high 500, low 600, that it means that you have bad credit and you just been a naughty person. It doesn't mean that, you guys. It just, for some people, it does. Now, if you got 1,000 collections and 1,000 missed payments, that's you need a slap on the wrist. But some of you, I just gave you an example where you might not even miss payments, but you have a thin credit file, you don't have a large credit mix, you don't have a credit history. Then what we call is you're in the rebuilding stage. About 69 or 79, somewhere between 69 and 79% of all Americans are in a rebuilding stage, period. Because either you messed it up a long time ago and you got somebody to fix your credit, I'm the somebody, or you are young and you haven't built your credit up because you got a thin credit file. So a lot of times people will see a 580 or 605 or whatever the case may be, or 550, and they'll be so discouraged and they'll be like, oh man, I got a horrible credit score, I can't fix this. Yes, you can. You can fix it. The easy way to fix it is come to me and quit being cheap. But if you want to continue to be cheap, okay, that's fine. Then this is how you fix it. I'm going to tell you how you fix it. Where you see that 30% at your credit utilization, you need to find a way to get 3 credit cards. However you figure it out, you need to find a way to get 3 credit cards. Now, some of you might say, well, my credit score is not big enough, or not big enough, not high enough to get 3 credit cards. So how can I get 3 credit cards if I don't have the length of credit history for them to apply me, and if I don't want to mess up my 10% from the new credit? Secured credit cards. I've been preaching the Sable card for like 2 months now. And the only reason I've been preaching the Sable card, because it works. Like, I don't preach anything that doesn't work. And the reason why I don't, imagine me saying it works, it doesn't work. You know somebody gonna come on here and say, Rob told me a lie. Have y'all ever seen that on my lives? Have y'all ever seen it on my post? No, y'all haven't. So some of you guys, I keep getting excuses. And that's why I said unlimited excuses in the beginning. It's because there's no reason why you couldn't sign up for the Sable card. If you only got 1 or 2 credit cards, you need to get that 3rd one, go ahead and get a secure card. When you go out and get a secure card, just so for the people that don't know, an unsecured credit card is the one that you apply for and they give you, boom, a $5,000 credit limit and you don't have to give them nothing. A secured credit card is when you go out, you have to give them some money, and then you set your own limit, your own balance limit, and then they in turn give you a credit card for that balance. All right, so some people say, well, because as soon as y'all get to thinking about, well, I don't want to have to pay for nothing. Oh my God. Like, you're in this situation because you paid for a lot of stuff you shouldn't have paid for, and you chose not to pay that stuff off. So let's just cut the crap. So now all of a sudden, when it comes to fixing your stuff, you don't want to pay for something. But here's the key. The Sable card is one of the 2 that will give you your money back. I just feel like sometimes I want to wring y'all neck, because I'm like, y'all don't listen. First thing y'all hear is secure. I got to give you money. Hey, what's on TV? And it's like, it's the only secure card. Well, I'm gonna say it's the only because Bank of America does it. They give you your money back. Bank of America takes about 6 to 12 months to give you your money back. So when I rebuild my credit up years ago, I used the Bank of America secure card. I gave them 300. I had 300 credit limit. I used it wisely, didn't miss any payments. They said, hey, thank you. It took me almost a year for them to give me a regular credit card. And then they gave me a check, and they deposited it in my checking account, and I got my money back. Well, guess what? Sable does that for you. It comes with its own checking account if you need another one. And especially if you're using Chime, y'all need to cut that Chime stuff out. And if not, it's still, you can set your own limit. The big bonus is, with Bank of America, you got to have a $300, at least a $300 minimum. You don't need a minimum with Sable. $100, $50. A lot of times, y'all, like, I hate to try to spend people money. So I hate to get on here and say what y'all shouldn't be doing with y'all refund checks and what y'all should be. But I will advise you. And I broke this down several times and I'm going to break it down again. I will advise you. If I had a refund check, I wouldn't have to spend the entire refund check on starting my Sable card. I could designate $500 of all the money that I'm getting back. I could say, I'm going to take this money, $500, and I'm going to take this other money and do what I need to do. I could take that $500, put it on the Sable card. Sable gives you your money back in 4 months. I put it on there. I use it for the gas prices that y'all be fussing about. If you're used to paying $30 for gas and now you're paying $60, you can put $500 on the Sable card, go to the pump, put $60 in. When your bill due next month, you can pay the whole thing off, or you could pay what you used to pay, $30. Now, some of you are going to say, well, I'm going to have a $30 balance. Okay. You're not going to be over your credit utilization. So you're still going to create points where it says amount owed. You're going to gain points. So now you do that the next month, and you do that the next month. You can choose once again to pay off the entire balance, or you can pay off half that balance. Your minimum is going to be whatever your minimum is. That's what you have to pay, regardless of what that is. But I know your minimum is not going to be the full 60. So at the end of the 4 months, Sable is going to give you your $500 back. It's honestly almost like a savings account to start a credit card, if you really look at it. You get your money back. But y'all still got all the excuses. Y'all still ain't signed up. Some of y'all still. I had somebody come to me the other day and they was fussing and was like, man, I'm just kind of stuck at this 620 something range. And they only got one credit card. And I've been telling them and been preaching to them. And I'm like, what can I do? I didn't get anything taken off of my my credit profile. I had like 2 collections. None of them fell off. I'm here to tell you, some people, not everybody, 2 collections sometimes ain't even worth 20 points. You almost be wasting your time getting rid of 2 collections. I ain't saying you waste your time, because you always want to get rid of collections and bad, accounts. But I'm just here to say, sometimes they ain't worth 20. Now, sometimes for some people, depending on the dollar amount of that said collection, they might be worth 100 points. So yes, we most definitely want to remove everything off your credit file. But I'm giving you an example of a customer that was like, I'm just still kind of stuck in that 600 range. It ain't got nothing to do about them 2 collections. Once you remove those 2 collections, you still gonna be in the 600s. You're not going to the 850s with 1 credit card. Impossible. 100% impossible. You're not gonna even smell 800 credit score with 1 credit card. So if you run around here like, I don't got no car note and I ain't got no credit cards, I know my credit perfect. No, your credit gonna be in the 500s. I'm not telling you go get no car note. But there are loan programs out there that you basically can borrow an installment loan against yourself and then pay yourself back. And basically you get credit for it to help build your credit. You can do that for the installment loan part. But if not, step your credit card game up. That's all I'm saying. Step it up. Once again, you're going to have to use them wisely. And I'm not telling you to get them and be stupid with them. Get them and spend and use it wisely. But don't just think that you don't have to have it. You have to have it. So for that customer example, that customer probably, I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna break down the points that you'll get if you only got 1 credit. Like most time, if you only got 1 credit card, most of my clients, they get a 30 to 40 point jump by opening up a new trade line automatically. So if you got a cousin or a mama or sister or auntie that you can jump on their credit card that they stay below their 30%, now they have to stay below. You can't jump on nobody's card that just go over the 30%. Like you can't jump on my wife's card, because, well, my wife got several cards. So some cards you could jump on, some cards you can't. But give you an example, the Amazon card, you can't jump on that card. Because that bad boy be up over 30, then be down below. Then be up above 30, and then I have to pay it and then be down below. Then it go. So that bad boy, so if you got an auntie like that, don't jump on that auntie card. But if you got a grandma that really ain't using her cards, or you got a mama that really ain't using their cards like that, you can jump on those cards. You're going to get somewhere between 30 to 40 point increase instantly. Now, if they got an old card, you might get 60 point increase instantly. So for that person that has 624, they would have been like at a 680 something, just like that sometimes, depending on what card they jump on. They open up another card, they probably would have got the same increase. They'd have been at 700 just like that. So moral of the story is, if you're below, I say a 650, don't go applying for new credit. because it's just going to mess up your new credit, that 55 points. Now, if you're above 650 and you've been getting pre-approved offers, you might get approved for a credit card. So just go ahead, take a chance. On one. Don't only apply for one now. Now, if you don't get it, go strictly to the secured card. Now, let's talk about the payment history. So the payment history is 35%. Really, that's nothing to talk about. Just pay your bills on time. If you miss a payment, I had a client that had an 802, missed one payment, and they dropped them down to a 690. He literally lost like 100 and what's that? 12 point, 8.9 point. I don't know. He lost 100 and some points. One missed payment. He never had a missed payment. One missed payment. They will penalize you. And a lot of you going to be mad. I never miss. Ain't nobody you can cry to. Ain't nobody you can call. Don't miss a payment. Set up on automatic payment. I'm going to tell you what I do. True transparency, because I always be transparent with you guys. Like, I have my moments because I'm a realtor. So that's like the bulk of my money. And if I haven't sold a house, then I got to, one sale of a house could last me like 6 months. But sometimes if I haven't sold a house, we kind of tightrope on how we spend here in this household. And one thing that I do is, if I charge up some stuff, I just pay the minimum. I'm not trying to pay the card all the way off, because then when I get my big check, then I'll pay the card all the way off. I never miss a payment. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna pay the minimum. I never miss a payment. And sometimes I have more money than what I don't have at the end of the month. I still pay the minimum. And then at the end of the month, if I have extra money that I can put towards that card, then I put the extra money towards that card. But my whole goal is never to miss a payment. Why? Because you're not going to take 100 points from me. I work too hard for that. So I just went over those three, and then I slowly, because the credit mix, I slowly talked about that. And the length of credit history, you can't really affect that unless you jump on somebody's card that has that credit card for a long time. That's about it. Yeah, unless you jump on as an authorized user for somebody that had their credit card for over 2 years, to over 2 or 3 years, then you can't really affect that other than start your new history. So you got to get it cracking. New credit, once again, don't just go out and start applying for stuff when you get in the 600s. If you just get in the early 600s, you're going to get approval letters, but they're just pre-approval. That don't mean you're going to get approved, especially if you don't got the income, and if you got some stuff on your file, they're not going to give it to you. So you got to know what cards to apply for, which is why if you log on to the free Experian.com, they kind of give you recommendations of cards that, based on your credit profile, you might get approved for. It's okay to listen to those recommendations. A lot of y'all so hard-headed, y'all don't want to listen to nobody. Let me stop sharing my screen. Boy, y'all been blowing my thing up. All right. So look. All right. So kind of recapping. It's always about not having a thin credit file. So if you have a thin credit file, then you could have a horrible score. But I don't never want you to get down on yourself to say, I can't increase that score by not changing my thin credit file. It's real simple. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. I've been in business for about, 9 months. And I thought my business credit score was exceptional because I got my trade lines, I got my net 30 accounts, and come to find out, the first purchase on my net 30 accounts didn't count, and they didn't report them. So this whole time, I'm ready to apply for a business loan. I really can't apply for one. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't sign up for NAV. A lot of you guys wouldn't know that unless you sign up for Experian.com. It is free. And so when I did that, it opened up my eyes. It showed me I had a thin credit file. And guess what I did? I solved that instantly. They had a couple of business credit cards that you can apply for. My credit score good enough for that. I got approved. I have my MX credit card. It's like $20,000. I never swiped it. I thought by me having it, mistake. I never swiped it. And by me never swiping it that first time, it didn't report anything. So here I am, got this $20,000 business credit card, and they don't even know I got it. So guess what I did? I just bought some gas. And then I told Tasha got her own card. So her own, because she's, my partner in business. But I told her, she was walking out here with a debit card. I said, yo, we ain't got no money like that. Take the corporate card. She was like, I'm having brunch. I said, I know. You're having a business meeting. She having brunch with her cousins, but that was a business meeting, right? I was like, you better take that business credit card. We're gonna write that off anyway. So, leave that cash alone. So she took that. I didn't feel bad until I saw them post all the food that they ate and all the bottles that they popped for one brunch, a random Saturday brunch, nobody's birthday. So then I kind of was like, I'm gonna have to check the receipts, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, the point is, what's the point in having a credit mix if you don't use it and if you don't get it started? So you can't, like, for you people that had a credit card for a long time and you did a good job of paying it off, that credit card is being noticed and recognized. It started its own credit file and it started its own credit history. So no, I'm not telling you that if you just took all your refund check and paid off all your credit cards, that was a wonderful thing. I high five you. Very, very responsible. But no, you don't have to go start running that credit card back up. That credit card has a history. I just didn't have a history with mine, so I had to start a history. So of course now, about a couple of months later, when I try to make moves to get certain luxury vehicles to try to do something with them, and not to drive for like Turo. I'm thinking about getting into Turo a little bit, but now I'll have the business credit to be able to make those purchases, and so I'm not concerned about that. Another thing, what did I say? Oh, so I really want to talk about. I want to just shed light on this. Where my time at? One more time. I don't really care about my time. I'm just gonna talk until I don't care. I don't talk no more. A lot of you, like, I get upset when I see people talk about how y'all get mad about, like if y'all talk about each other, like baby mamas, baby daddies, yada 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 yada, and here y'all are, most of y'all sitting with adult or teenage kids, and y'all not relaying the message that I'm giving. And the first excuse y'all have is, nobody taught me. My mama didn't teach me. My mama didn't teach me. Yada yada. And when y'all, that ticks me off a little bit, because I've taught or spoke how you can help your young grown up start in this game of life running with a full steam ahead. And some of you still haven't done it. Listen, I have one client. She called me. She's been serious from the jump. When she contacted me about getting her credit fixed, she said, I see your posts, I see your comments. I'm not ready at this stage right now, but when I am, I'll contact you. I said, okay, never pressured her. Several months went by. She come back. She said, hey, I saw what you said about the kids. I really want to get my daughter started before I get myself started. How can I do that? I got her to get a secure credit card. At the time, it wasn't Sable, because we didn't have Sable at the time. Sable is new, by the way. So we didn't have Sable at the time. And I told her where to go, how to do it. She did that. And her daughter got like a 722. And she was so excited. She was so grateful for the accomplishment. Then she reached out and said, I'm ready to get started on mine. She got started on hers, and she had some stuff taken off on her credit file, deleted off her credit. Like, that client is a perfect client. And it's not because they got started. It's because they applied the knowledge. I promise you, it's because they applied the knowledge. I never pressured her. I never came after. I just was like, look, I'm here to help you guys. And you can't move forward unless you move. Like, a lot of y'all keep forgetting that. It's like, how can you progress sitting here? I can sit here right now. I could want to go to the mailbox. I know I need to go to the mailbox. I know I should go to the mailbox. But unless I get my butt out of this chair, I ain't getting the mail. And that's a lot of y'all. Unless y'all start moving forward, ain't nothing gonna happen. Like, it's like the real true definition of insanity. Like, I just sit here and just think that something's gonna happen, doing the same thing, expecting to get different results. It's not gonna happen. But I promise you, everything that's happening for everybody around you, it's not because they're gifted. It's not because some of them are. It's not because they're blessed, but all of them are. It's not because God chose to bless them now and bless you later. It's actually because they prayed about whatever they want to do, and instead of just praying about it and just waiting for God to just poof, make it happen, they got up to help God help them. And a lot of y'all don't do that. well, I'm gonna get up and do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get up and do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get up and do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm so proud of my wife, how she started this workout program. When y'all look at my wife, y'all don't know she had 4 kids. Birth, all 4 of them. Didn't even yell. She moaned on one child. The other 2, they just fell out. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You never could tell that she had 4. But yet and still, she's working really hard when she works out every night, every afternoon. She does 2 workout plans. The purpose of that, I say, is for her to get fine because she's trying to get finer than me. And I'm trying to get finer than her, but I'm slowly getting it, and she's getting it faster than me because she was already finer, I guess. But I'm proud of her, not because what I think what she's gonna look like after that. I don't care. She's fine before that. Your health is one of the biggest parts about your life, you exceeding your life expectancy. And a lot of you cut your life off short because we got horrible eating habits and we refuse to just take a walk. We ain't got enough time to work out. I don't understand why we never got enough time to do the things that help us the most, but we got time to do the things that are just purely non-beneficial. It's just what we like to do. You don't got money, but we spend it on frivolous things. We don't got time, but we like to go out and hang out, or we watching Netflix and we asking everybody what's the new special. She does all her workouts in the house. And she argues with a 10-year-old about doing his homework every night. And she fusses at an 8-year-old about doing her homework, but she'll do her homework, but she just want to do it with a tablet right next to her. And she tends to I don't know, what is he, 21 months, running around. Well, I ain't going to take that. I ain't going to give her that. She don't be tending to him. I be tending to him. She don't really tend to him till he get ready to go to bed. That's all I mean. But anyway, he there. So before he start being up under me, he still be up under her. So she don't got time. But she make time. And I hope and pray that we can have a long life together. And I hope that her health I hope that our health are fully blessed and we can live long. And a lot of you guys, y'all come in and y'all say, I ain't gonna take the COVID shot, but then I ain't gonna work out neither. Okay. Then regardless of whether you get COVID or not, then you're trying to have a short life experience. So I don't want to get on that tangent and get on that, you know what I'm saying? Because you know me, I can run down like 8 different rabbit holes and it's hard for me to come back out of them. I just wanted to express that nothing begins unless you begin. I don't care what it is. And the only way you can move forward is walk forward. It's 100%. Anybody want to bet me some money? It's 100% impossible to take a step towards the new you, to take a step towards your new life, to take a step towards your new beginnings without actually taking a step. So whatever that step may be, you got to take that step. I don't care what it is. If you know personally that when I did talk about the weight, if you know that you're overweight, if you know that your health is bad, your blood pressure is high, start walking. Well, it's too cold outside. Walk inside your house while you watch Netflix. Just walk in place. Just do something. And when you start seeing the benefit and you start feeling good about yourself, you'll have the energy to do something else. And that's kind of how it is with the credit repair. That's kind of how it is about with anything in life. Just step outside the norm and do something. And then you'll feel good about yourself. And it'll promote you to do something else. And it'll promote you to add a little bit more. But the time for these unlimited excuses, y'all got to wake up. Let me see what these comments were talking about. Y'all got to wake up. Y'all got to stop these unlimited excuses. And y'all got to figure it out. What we have. So it's better to pay off each time, at least something. Oh, sorry, came in late. All right, Ms. Dates. All right, man. I had some questions and then you probably gone and I can't even answer your question. So I hope you come back to this so I can answer your question for you. All right. So it's better to stay below your 30% utilization. That's what is better. I'm not the person that's going to tell you if you leave on, let's common example. I keep it simple. $1,000 credit card, credit card with $1,000 limit. You can't go over $300. You can, but you make sure you pay it off before you pay below the $300 before the next month. Now, A lot of people say, well, you should leave a 10% on. You ain't got to leave a 10% nothing on. I'm here to tell you that. I had went 6 months and didn't use none of my credit cards. 6 months. All of them was at zero balance. Zero balance. And my credit score was like 824. Honestly, I don't even know what keeps me from the 850. Maybe what keeps me from ever getting up to 850? I don't know. Probably the mix, the credit mix. I don't get all my credit mix points because I only at the time, I don't keep car loans. So I don't never have installment loans. So the only installment loan is my house note. So my credit mix is not good. But that's the only thing keep me from the 850. It ain't about keeping a balance. But I will tell you, it's better to keep your balance below 30% by all means necessary. Perfect example, I probably got a 714 right now. I got a 714 score right now. And that's probably because, it's because when my car was in the shop a month ago, I just got it out probably like 3 weeks ago. It cost like $15,000. What do you think I did? You think I paid $15,000 cash? No. Put it on my credit card. And then I'll use my truck to accumulate money to pay it off. So I'm gonna fluctuate in that 700, and I won't get back up into that. I won't get back up into the 800 until I paid it off. But for me, that's like a house sale, or that's like me running my truck for 2 or 3 weeks. Like I can get that. I'm not worried about that. So to answer your question, the only thing you need to focus on is keeping it below your 30% utilization. For the people that can't calculate 30%, you are just multiplying 30% times whatever your balance is, whatever your limit. So like I said, if your limit was 1,000, you multiply it times 30, you're going to come up with 300. That's how you get it. If your balance is 500, you're going to multiply it times 30%, and then you're going to get what you can't come up. Because a lot of you guys got like those credit cards that are real small introductory credit cards, and they're setting at $250 or they're setting at $300 limit. And let's see what a $300 limit card is. So a $300 limit card, your 30% is $90. So a lot of you, I had one client that was like, well, I've been paying my card on time, so I don't know why my score went down. And they only got that one card, first of all. And then second of all, this was like right after the holidays. They was like, no, I ain't missed my payment. And they was like, I've been making payments. I said, what's your balance? I've been making my payments. Can you please tell me your balance? And quit avoiding my question. $124. But I'm going to pay that off when I get my refund. Okay, understandable that you're going to pay it off eventually. Your 30% utilization is $90. You're over that. Period. You lost 60 points because of that. Pay it off. You're going to get the 60 points back. Real simple. Real simple. What's next? Okay, I done got 3 now. All right, so Ms. Johnson, so you got 3. Take care of them. That's it. Don't miss a payment. You got 3. Take care of them. Don't miss a payment. Now, if you got a car loan in there, that's going to help you out with your mix. But now that you got 3, take care of them. And if any of them are new, use them so they can report. So you may have to use them for a month or 2. I would say about 3 months. Use them about 3 months. And honestly, the easiest way to use a brand new credit card for 3 months is swipe that bad boy for gas one time. Your minimum balance is going to be about $10. Make that minimum balance those next 3 months or next 4 months or whatever it is. And then about time that little one balance is paid off, then you're going to have 4 months of consecutive payments on time, new credit history. You're going to get 60 points. You're going to be excited. Rah, rah, yay. All right. What you say? I'm learning not to go over 30% because when I know I did, now I'm 30 points from 700. See, I ain't even get to your next point. Yep. As long as you stay below your 30, you'll get to 700 easy. And when you get to 700, you cooking like grease. And the only thing that's probably keeping you from being in the mid 700s, if you had some missed payments, whether they've been because of, payment issues because of COVID, whatever the reason. If you had missed payments that are less than 2 years old, so the older So how it works is with missed payments, they're gonna hit you in the gut if you ever miss one. You're gonna lose about a whole good 80, 100 points instantly. So keyword, don't miss a payment. But for some of you might say, well, I ain't missed a payment in a year or several months. That's good. Keep building it, because each month that you go by that you haven't missed a payment for said account, then you slowly get like small points back. Maybe like a point here, a point there. Maybe it won't move. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 months to move. But the rule of thumb is like once you get past 2 or 3 years of no missed payments, then you're probably going to get back the majority of all of your missed points that you missed that one time. So it's going to take time, but that's why everybody don't walk around with an 850. Like everything has to be perfect for that. Like you got to have the credit mix. You got to have 3 or 4 loans. You got to have 4 or 5 credit cards. You got to have no missed payments ever. And then you got to have length of credit history. So you probably have the guy started 10 years ago. Like that person that got that, they got all of that. That's the 850 person. So a lot of you need to focus on getting past 750. What else I got? Perfect. And I'm here to say right now. So if you use all of your credit cards, and they're reporting, and you paid them off or you did whatever, you honestly, in my opinion, don't have to use them again. If you're building your credit for a reason, you don't have to use them again. Only in emergency situations, of course. Like I got all these credit cards. I only use them in emergency situations. Well, I'll take that lie back. I use one of mine just to gain points, but everybody else is emergency situation. And so that way, you can practice great spending habits, and you're going to receive your points just from building your history and just from not missing a payment ever. And so things like that, you don't have to worry about. You're on the road. You're on your way to 750, and 750 should be everybody's focus, because most lenders past 740, they really don't penalize you with a horrible. So like you can get the best interest rate on the house if you're getting past that 740 range. So a lot of people say, like I need to get to 800. I need to get to 800. I'm here to tell you, I know some people that bought a house in like that mid 7 range, got the same interest rate that the person with the 800 score got. Like when you're talking about a house, there's no 0% APR. Now, when you're talking about a car, yes. But when you're talking about a house, no, you're not getting that. So if the U.S. government interest rate is at 4.1, then the person with the 740 and above gets the 4.1. So a person at 802, person at 850, person at 759, or a person at 799, they all get the 4.1. Now, when your stuff start going up to 4.3, 4.5, or 5, that's because you're into the 7, and then you're into the 600, and then you're down to the 5. And yes, there are some lenders that will approve you at a 580. So I didn't want to cross-reference both industries, but if I just want to speak on homes real quick, anybody can own a home. I got a 20-year-old that's probably about to buy his house. Guess what? He didn't have a credit mix. Guess what he did? I told him to get the Sabre card. See, sometimes these young people, they listen more than the older people. But he got the Sabre card. He's building his credit history up. He's gonna be able to jump on a trade line, and that's gonna build his credit history up even more. And he's probably gonna be able to purchase a house this summer. He's 20 years old. Some of you be like, why would he need to purchase a house? Because he lives in a small town. Like he knows what he wants to do. Like school ain't for him. He's working. He's got a good job, and that's what he wants. And that's what he's going to get. And I'm going to help him get it. So some lenders, you can't get approved at a 580. Probably not now, but depending on what your credit file is. Rule of thumb, 640 and up, you're going to get a house. 640 and up. So let me take that back. I don't want to break any hearts. 640 and up, you can get approved to get a house. But if you work at Dollar General part-time and you make $15,000 a year and you got a car note from somewhere because somebody co-signed for you, your credit utilization is not going to allow your debt to credit income is not going to allow you to be able to get a home. So I hate, some people get frustrated because they be like, well, I got this credit score. Why didn't the lender approve me, or they approve me for like a $175,000 house? Yeah. Key word is you gotta get some more streams of revenue. So if it's a one house income and like you're a single parent mom, you need to talk to me, get with my team, get with my wife's team, or get with somebody else's team, and you need to figure out how you're gonna bring in another stream of revenue, another stream of income. Because the more money you make, the more money you bring in, then it's easy to get approved for houses that you can get approved for. But you know, a lot of times people get frustrated and think that home ownership is hard. It's not hard. It is not hard at all. Get yourself a 640 and get yourself a house. I had somebody. Oh yeah, I got you, Toya. You know, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. I had somebody. What was I gonna say? Y'all know I'm getting old. I said home ownership and 640. Oh, it might come back to me. Let me read these comments. Debt to credit can be frustrating if they don't understand. Yes, Sheena. So it most definitely can be frustrating because when I first started being a realtor, it was this young lady, man, she was awesome. She was a sweetheart. And she was young. She was about like 23, 24. She had her own job. She was killing it. She was working hard. But I honestly think her yearly income was only at 28,000. And she had a child. And she wasn't getting any child support or anything like that. And she paid all her bills, never missed a big payment. Like she was a prime candidate for home ownership. And I wanted her to get into a house. Like she wanted a house for her son. She wanted her son to have a yard. And we couldn't make it happen because of her debt to credit income ratio, because she went out and got a car that she needed, mind you. And because she had decent enough credit, they hit her with a 24%. She had like a 600, just enough to get approved. They hit her with like a 18%, 18% interest rate. She had like a nice little Nissan Altima. That girl car note was $600. So in between her car note being $600 and in between her proposed mortgage note, she never, like the lender could approve her, but he couldn't, because it was like, you pay $600 for this car loan. Like, you know, making $28,000 a year is not saying that you're going to be able to pay the $600 plus the car or the house note that you're looking for. And sometimes you need to downsize, but in her situation, she wasn't able to downsize because, you know, the type of house that she probably would be approved for, she'd have to go back home to do it. She'd have to go to a rural area, like a USDA type of area, you know, like a small town, West Tennessee, where I'm from. And she couldn't do that. I mean, she lived up here and they just didn't have that up here, you know, and we have small towns up here in Middle Tennessee, but where she would be living, she'd be the only person that looked like her, and she didn't want that. And so she wasn't able to get into a house, and I hated it. And it was just a situation of, you know, we got to increase our income sometimes. Sometimes it's like that, you know. And so it's not as easy as just having a credit score. It's as easy as, you know, you may have to increase your stream of income. But this is what I was going to say. But I did have somebody tell me. So when I first got into real estate, I used to get into this argument. It wasn't really an argument. It was a discussion, a debate. Like, is it worth purchasing a house? Is it worth purchasing a house? Is it worth purchasing a house? You know, what if I just want to rent? What if I don't see any problem with rent? I don't see any problem with rent. If you don't see any problem with renting, then continue to rent. But what you cannot do is tell me that home ownership is not a benefit, because it is a benefit. And I'm gonna give you a real quick example. Last night we were looking at some houses in different states and blah 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 whatever. And some of my friends was on the phone, like a group call, and everybody was like giving me their address so I can look up the value of their house or whatever. And everybody house improved more than $100,000 within the last year. The lowest person was like at 120. Now some of y'all are gonna say, well, what does that mean? Well, now they got 120,000 or more in equity. I myself got $200,000 in equity in my house. I just bought it 2 years ago. When I first got into real estate, before all this rise of all these lands, a lot of people were kind of debating on should they rent. So one of my best friends, he was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do 5 years from now. So I ain't buying no house. My goal was to try to encourage him. You could still live in like an apartment style homes. You could just stay in like a condo, a town home or a condo. You can own that. You can own a town home or a condo. You don't need a picket fence. Most people think buying a house is like buying a house and getting a picket fence with the kids in the backyard. For all you single people, buying a house don't mean that. Buying a house literally you could just buy a condo, or you literally could just buy a townhome. So Townhomes back then was like 230, 150, somewhere between 150 to 230. There was some that was 150. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nice ones, brand new. Them same ones is worth $300,000 now. So let me give you the example of my friend who said that he didn't see any reason why he should purchase because he's single and he could get a job somewhere else and move. Listen to this. All right. What if he bought, let's say, a 200,000? 200,000 was brand new condos back then, brand new townhomes. So he's staying in an apartment. He's been staying in an apartment ever since he graduated from college. What if he bought that $200,000 townhome? And that was just 2 years ago. That same townhome is worth $150,000 more right now. Anything that was 200 is worth 350 right now. So what does that mean for him? So let's say he got a job in Texas. So for the last 3 years, he's been paying his mortgage, which was exactly the same as the rent or less back then. Mortgage is less than rent, you guys. I hate to tell you that for some places. Now it's getting high, but that's COVID. So what if he paid that mortgage, which would have been back then less than what he paid for rent for 3 years, and he moved to Texas? Well, when he sells his townhome, because there's a shortage in homes all over Tennessee right now. When he sold his townhome, if he sold it for $350, he bought it for $150. 3 years of making payments, he probably owed $120, $110 on it. So he probably walked away with about $170,000 to move to Texas, to start his new career, his new life, his new whatever. He's walking away with $170,000. Now, he didn't do this. Now, he continued to rent. So what if he still got a job in Texas, but he still chose to rent? So now, the last 3 years that he paid for rent, whether it was $1,100 a month, $800 a month, whatever it was, when he moves, he will have to fight to get his deposit back, which probably ain't worth but $1,100. So if you move, wouldn't you rather have 170 to say, you know what? I could buy me a new house, condo, townhome, or I could just have this money as moving expenses. I could have this money to get me the new whip when I go into the new city. But now, if he was to get another job and he moves, he's moving whatever money he saved up the last 3 years. Like, could you imagine if he did that and he moved? Or let's just give you this example, because y'all get that point. I don't got to beat it up. What if he bought it back then and he really liked staying in apartments and he just sold it now just to have $170,000 in his bank account? So now he could use that money to invest in other stuff. So now he really could use that money to invest in the property, invest in the rental property, invest in whatever. Or he could use that money and do what some of us would do and buy him a brand new whip and a brand new this and a brand new that, whatever. I don't want to beat up my black people like that, but it is what it is. So we literally had that discussion back and forth. He didn't see no point. He was watching somebody on TV, Vlad TV or somebody, and Vlad was talking about how it's dumb to own a home, and I think Beyonce dad was on there on Vlad TV talking about some home ownership is stupid because you can't move around like you want to. That is a lie. You can always sell. Tell me if you can't. You can always sell. I know people selling the most stupidest things right now. You can always sell. You can sell anything. You damn sure can sell a house. Somebody gonna want it. Take care of it. Put it on the market. So hindsight is 2020. Yes, he's doing good. He's making a lot of money. He probably right now he'd probably be like, yeah, man, whatever. I don't care, because he's doing well. But how well would he be doing if he had an extra 175 in his bank account? He'd be doing a lot better, right? All right. That's the conversation we had. See, I've been trying to educate people for a minute. Mortgage is less than. Oh, is it? So basically, Sheena, you telling me I need to come to Jackson and try to talk people into buying a house. Listen, if you know somebody that's been thinking about it, go and refer them to me. I am a licensed realtor in the state of United. I'm here to tell y'all that I'm gonna tell y'all one more time, just for the people in the back. I am a licensed realtor in the state of United, not the state of Tennessee, the state of United. So if y'all got a cousin, sister, mama, auntie that need to get a house or thinking about buying a house, and they in Texas, they in Hawaii, they in Puerto Rico, wherever, they in Vermont, is Vermont? I was in Canada. Or they in Colorado, or they in Maine. Yeah, Vermont and Maine, they are together. So like wherever they at, y'all need to come see me first, and then so I can talk to them. And then I know you're gonna be like, how am I gonna be able to show them a house? Because I got people in where they live. That's how I'm gonna show them my house. And if you come see me, I might throw you a 3-digit referral fee. Could you imagine getting 3 digits from me? And I ain't talking 100. Come on, man. I ain't talking 100. I might be talking 5, but I'm not allowed to say that on live, right? But who cares, right? I don't care. Who gonna check me? Yeah, y'all know somebody need to get in the house. Send them to me. Let's talk. I'll pay you for it. What you say? It's 3 homes for sale in my neighborhood right now. Listen, they ain't gonna do me no good. I need some people to put them in your house. So as long as you can find me somebody to put them in there. So anybody that you know that's in Jackson, anybody watching this is from Jackson, that's talking about getting a house, she done got 3 houses for sale in the neighborhood. Y'all come see me so I can put y'all near a nice neighbor. And she be turned up, and she crunk, and she got her own business, and she be lit. She turn up too sometimes. All right, y'all. I bored y'all long enough. But hey, y'all know the rules. It doesn't matter whether you can use this information or not. I know for a fact you know somebody that can. Why not let them know about it? I'm not a influencer, so I don't get any money for you sharing my post. But I guarantee you I'll change somebody's life if you share my post. So what you want to do? You want me to help somebody? Get them the information. Tag them. Share the post. Tell them become my friend. Whatever. Promise you I'll change their life. If they ready. All we got to do is take a step forward. But y'all have a wonderful lunchtime on this wonderful Tip Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Y'all go out. Y'all be productive. And remember, no matter what it is, whether it's about your life, whether it's about your health, your weight, your whatever you want to do, only way you can get started is take a step forward. Big step or small, take a step forward. Y'all have a good one.